Hey guys, welcome back to the Piston Show. So you've decided to buy a new Honda HRV, but you can't decide between the V-Spec or the RS. Well, there's about 5,000 ringgit different between the two cars and quite a bit else actually. So in this video, we want to help you make that buying decision. But before that, as always, a word from our sponsor. Hey guys, we would just like to take a couple of seconds to tell you about BH Petrol's Infinity RON 95 Euro 4M. Now this is unlike any other petrol out there because it features advanced German additives. What these additives do is that they go into your engine, they clean out all the deposits that have formed inside your engine from years before, and if you continue using Infinity RON 95 Euro 4M from BH Petrol, you're basically ensuring that your engine continuously runs clean. But not only that, BH Petrol's RON 95 Euro 4M also features 90% reduced sulfur. That's a 90% reduction in sulfur, guys. That is not only great for your engine, but it's wonderful for the environment. So the next time you pour BH Petrol, know that you're making the right choice. Let's start from the front of the car. This is the V-Spec and the one behind me is the RS. Well, from the grille itself, the V-Spec has a gloss black grille, where else the RS has this dark chrome grille. The Honda emblem, well, it has this blue lining which denotes a hybrid model. Every Honda hybrid model will have a blue lining around its emblem. And the V-Spec, well, it has that usual chromed Honda logo. And then the amp pulse down here, which is new to every Honda HRV. The one on the RS is in red. And basically, that's about it. Well, not quite, because the front lip, this is chrome and this is gloss black, whereas on the V-Spec, it's almost all black. Now let's go to the side of the car. From the side, well, both are almost the same. Both run on 18-inch wheels wrapped in Continental tires. As well as from the back though, from the back, well, you'll be hard-pressed to tell the difference, but there's one key difference at the back here, and that's on the V-Spec. The V-Spec gets this red lining at the top of the brake lights that stretches across the boot, whereas if you notice on the RS, this was all white. And then the V-Spec gets chromed exhaust pipes, but not on the RS. So that's how you tell the two cars apart, from the outside at least. Now let's go inside, let's take them for a drive. The interior of the RS, well, there's not much that is different inside here, but there's a couple of key details that you should look out for to know which is the RS or the V-Spec. Well, the RS comes with dual zone air conditioning for starters, so the passenger can choose his or her own temperature. And then there's that red stitching across the seats and then across the steering wheel as well. And the headlining is in black, where else the one on the V-Spec is in white or cream of sorts. Let's go check out the V-Spec. The key difference for the V-Spec in the interior is, well, as I mentioned, you only get single zoned air conditioning, which is not a bad thing. It's not a deal breaker for me at least. You also get grey stitching instead of red on the steering wheel as well. And then after that, well, the headliner is in beige, grey, I think. It's definitely not white. But the key difference here though is in the engine. In terms of backseat space, well, both cars, the RS and the V-Spec, are identical. They offer the same amount of legroom. They have 2 USB slots, 2 air conditioning vents, a lot of cup holders, and they also have something called Ultra seats, which are now synonymous with Honda cars. What are Ultra seats, you ask? Well, let me demonstrate. So, putting the seats flat it's actually quite a common thing. It's no big deal. A lot of cars have these, right? But they have something called tall mode. So check this out. Check out how much space there is. You can actually put that seat up as well, and this is called utility mode. There are 4 modes. If I'm not mistaken, they have refresh mode, utility mode, long mode, and one more that I just can't remember at this moment. So anyway, this is something that is quite unique to Honda in terms of the Ultra seats and in terms of the amount of storage space that they offer, as well as comfort. In terms of powertrain, both cars are powered by a 1.5 litre engine. The V-Spec uses a turbocharger to produce about 181 PS and 240 Nm of torque. It reaches a top speed of about 200 km per hour and needs 8.8 seconds to reach 100 km per hour. It's also mated to a regular CVT gearbox. The RS though is also powered by a 1.5 litre engine, but it's not turbocharged, and somewhere at the back there's an electric motor. That's why you see all these orange cables hanging around everywhere. So those are the ones that connect the electric motor to the engine to produce 107 PS and a combined system output of about 251 Nm of torque. It needs a little over 10 seconds to reach 100 km per hour, and it maxes out at about 170 km per hour. But even though it's low on performance as compared to the V-Spec, the RS is more about efficiency. It needs just 4.1 litres to travel every 100 kilometers, whereas the V-Spec needs a little over 6 litres to travel that same distance. So the RS is more about efficiency, whereas the V-Spec is more about performance, if I dare say. Another key difference between the V-Spec and the RS, which I think may just be a game changer if you're in the market for either V-Spec or the RS, is the fact that the V-Spec comes with a manual tailgate. There's no automatic tailgate here. It does come with quite a decent amount of boot space. This is the luggage for 3 people for 3 days getaway. Well, the RS, let's check out the RS. The RS does not only have an automatic tailgate, which is quite important I think, but it also has something quite unique, and it's a Honda first feature. That means there's no other Honda in the market that has this feature, and it is called power tailgate with walk away function. So if I press this button here, I hear the beep and I walk away. Voila! I think that's a pretty cool feature to have. Not only that, but it also can be powered by your foot, so to speak. Pretty cool. When it comes to driving, both cars feel almost identical, because of course that's no surprise, because underneath it all, both cars share a lot of similarities. Same chassis, same suspension bit, same wheel size. In fact, the key difference here is what powers the car. At the front of me, ahead of me, lies a 1.5 litre internal combustion engine. No big deal, but it's backed up by an electric motor for a combined system output of 104 horsepower, which might get you thinking like, hey, what's this guy raving about 104 horsepower? No big deal at all. But the catch here is the combined system output is 253 Newton meters of torque. When you put your foot down, there's a lot of fancy noises, and there's that all-important shove in the back. In fact, at highway speeds, this gives you the necessary acceleration, the necessary pickup that you need when you want to overtake slower vehicles. So on the day-to-day utility, on the day-to-day go-around kind of stuff, that torque is very important. It also has pedal shifters. If you can hear this, gets a bit drony, but hey, it has a spirit. It doesn't have that much talent, but it has that spirit, and that's important. So anyway, I was talking about the shifter pedals. It has the pedals, but it doesn't work like your typical shifter pedals do, because when you downshift, what this does is it simply gives you engine braking. It doesn't shift down gears. This is, after all, a eCVT gearbox, so it doesn't shift down gears. It just gives you more engine braking. I need to come to a stop, and if I go down, it just gives me engine braking, nothing else. And if I shift up, it simply undoes that. There's no upshift from like first, second, third, fourth. There's none of that. Anyway, let's go drive the V-Spec now. There's something that I gotta admit, and that is the fact that I personally feel that the V-Spec drives better than the RS. I like the immediate, urgent response that I get from the V-Spec, even though the RS produces more torque. The V-Spec actually has more horsepower, so you get that punch, especially from lower speeds, and that I really like. In terms of feel, at high speeds, both cars, I think, well, I haven't really taken the RS at very high, has high of a speed that I've done with the V-Spec, if I can say that, broken English and all that, I know. But V-Spec at high speeds, very legal speeds, especially when you're committed to a corner, you got to understand that this is, after all, a family mover. So you do get that occasional wallowy feel, that dump, that dip in the middle of a corner. You get all of that, but it's blunted. It doesn't feel like it's all over the place, and that I really appreciate about the V-Spec. And it's not as drony as the RS. Listen to this. Yes, it's loud, but it's just not as loud as the RS. Besides that, both cars are the same, with the Honda sensing suites, the same amount of safety suites, etc. But in terms of powertrain, there's a very big difference, and when it comes down to that, I prefer the V-Spec. In fact, I like the V-Spec quite a lot. So that's that then, guys. The Honda HRV RS and the Honda HRV V-Spec. One costs a little under 141,000, where else the V-Spec costs a little under 136,000 ringgit, roughly about 5,000 to 6,000 ringgit separating the two cars. Well, Honda has delivered over 7,000 HRVs already. That's how popular these two cars are. And out of those 7,000 that have been delivered, over 70% have been the V and the E-Spec. I'll let you guess which is the more popular out of the two. But if you ask me though, in this video, whether I'll choose the RS or the V-Spec, well, to answer the question of this video, I would go for the V-Spec, simply because it's cheaper, it's faster too, that matters to me. The 2 liters that you're saving, that roughly translates to about what, 5 ringgit? So that's not a big deal. And that dual zone air conditioning, well, I can live without that, and it's not going to change, it's not going to affect my life too much. The red stitching, well, I think you know what I'm going to say about that. So anyway, V-Spec does it for me. As usual, thank you for watching. If I have your attention up to this point, do consider subscribing. Thank you.